what they call payday loan companies.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them around here. Tampa, packed.
Now, what are the people really doing? They're borrowing money against their next paycheck.
Yeah, they're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
And that makes a very unhappy Peter and Paul, too.
Yeah, both of them. It's a vicious cycle.
And what I tell people is, if you can sell your home for more than what you owe, look at VA repos in your area. You can buy them for $100 down, and typically the monthly payment is 1/3 of what you might be paying now, and they're nice houses. But that's what I would do.
That's smart.
I've done it.
There was a lady in the hospital in Gainesville that she gave that advice to, and she came back and she found a house, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
A beautiful house, actually.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, when I heard that, I said, I never heard of that. And I'm like, well, don't you have to be a vet to actually buy the VA repo? And the answer to that is no.
All you need is $100 down.
Wow.
Yep.
And a lot of realtors don't like to show it because they don't really get a hefty commission. But they'll have to show it to you because it's got a lockbox, and I guess they get paid a certain amount, but not like the big ones. But they still are mandatory, whoever they might be, to sell it. And then, if Century 21 didn't do it, they'd have to find somebody to open the door. But they'll open the door. They'll get you in. And if you're looking for a house right now and you're looking to save some money, or you don't have a lot of money to put down, $100, I think you could scrounge that up to get into a house.
Oh, yeah.
And quick. And there's a lot of them, too. A lot to choose from.
Yep. A lot.
And a lot of them are just ready to move in. They're not in, I just thought they would be in disarray, and, there might be a few things you have to do. But a lot of them are, the paint's all good, the AC works, everything's in mint condition. You just have to move your furniture in. There you go.
Well, that's because the VA actually will repair the house before they sell it.
So you're not getting junk.
Nope.
Yeah, and if you take advantage of that, let us know. On Facebook, Chuck Harder, weigh in, tell us about the house. We'd like to hear about those stories or something you might have done. Share it with us. If you don't call in, you can weigh in on Facebook, or you can email us off chuckharder.com. Always like to hear from our listeners and supporters that keep For the People going strong and on the air. And we need more supporters. So if you haven't become a member or a supporter in what we're doing here, or Pulse Beam Radio Corporation, we do have stock on an offering too. And Chuck, I wanted to ask you before we close the program, how can people capitalize off our company and get in on this?
Well, it's still early, and the company is very high tech. And that said, we're going to go for another big IPO, and when we do, the people who are in now will benefit greatly.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good deal. So, yeah, hold on to that. You got your nice official seal from Pulse Beam. Every certificate comes with that seal, obviously, that makes it authentic, and, of course, the signature on there, and you hold that, and the future's looking bright. That's for sure. We're moving forward on a lot of different projects, and we definitely have opportunities for you to cash in, and small to large investments. You don't got a whole lot. I think right now online you can, I think as early as $100 they can buy stock.
Yeah.
So that's not bad if it's just a little, or if you want to do it more than what's online, you can send a check online, and all that information at chuckharder.com. Investor info, just click that tab, and that'll give you more information. Obviously, if you have questions, you can call us, too. We have the number where you can reach us. But we are in the process of growing, regrowing. Some of us Remember, Chuck, when you were on, 400 or 500 radio stations, and now it's kind of strange for some to say, well, what do you mean you're only on 5 stations? Well, that's headway after 6 months. We're planning on a lot more affiliates to be announced. We get calls frequently from others that are considering and moving things around to get us on the air, but we're not going anywhere, are we?
Well, we're just going to rebuild.
It's that simple.
Yep.
I just got another email. Gosh, Chuck, how many times I get people to say, Chuck, why aren't you broadcasting from the Telford? Just a little thing called money. We'd like to buy it back, but we get an angel that wants to give and wants to reopen the Telford, and we got a radio station that we can build that would promote it, but it just takes a little money. And if you have something like that and you'd like to give, or be one of our big supporters and contributors to our corporation and grow with us. You might be retired and listening and saying, I want to help out Chuck any way I can. And if you'd like to do that, you can just send us an email. If you'd like to become part of our organization and help us in those ways, we can tell you how you can do that. But we're looking for additional help in the way of financial support. And with that, you might have a position helping us steer the organization into the future. And we could definitely use those visionaries and people that have talent.
Well, because the Telford is on the National Historic Register, there are gigantic tax advantages to owning it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just takes the right person. We certainly have the product. It's just the vision of somebody to get together and open it up, and it's sitting there ready for somebody to do something with it. That's for sure. And I know the guy that owns it right now definitely wants out. He's not doing anything with it. He's just living in an apartment downstairs.
Yeah.
And he's looking for somebody to actually do something with it. I think the building screams for Chuck back. I think the building liked you, Chuck.
Yeah, I think so. Until Hillary Clinton destroyed us.
Yeah, well, God, people don't like her too much anymore. I think they see through this veil of deceit, and I don't think Americans are going to vote for her. And if they do, it's not going to be many votes, Chuck.
I agree.
And we've told our story a million times. We'll continue telling the story. It's been published worldwide online under silenced. Just type in Chuck Harder. You can read all about the story. But it's a true story. Hillary Clinton was the one from the White House, wrote a letter demanding Chuck Harder get off the air. And she forced her power all the way from Washington to White Springs. Hard to believe, but she did. And it was a vicious attack. And but we're recovering. And it wasn't easy to do it, Chuck. But, Chuck, you're a fighter, and there's a lot of folks getting behind you, and we need more to do that. But we're fighting for America because, like you've always said, we got to fix America first.
If we don't, what are we going to leave to our kids? And all I can say is thank you, everyone. God bless you and your family. Whatever you do, remember, we have to make America great again.
Amen. Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our website, chuckharder.com. That's HARDER. And on Facebook, like I mentioned before, you can type in Chuck Harder and like us there and keep in touch with us. And maybe you want to recommend a guest, or maybe you'd be an interesting guest on the broadcast. Either or, terrific hour. Thanks, America, for joining us. And please let your friends know that Chuck is back on the air. All the best. May God bless. And ladies and gentlemen, Keith Allen, that was September, by the way, September 14th, 2015. And the amazing thing is, listening back to that broadcast brings back so many memories. Obviously, Chuck being alive, he passed away this March, and today we conclude the broadcast. Officially, For the People is no more. We're closing up shop. It's painful to say it, but it's just something that I've prolonged. It's been 4.5 years, and we honestly barely pay any of the For the People bills. The internet's not paid. We've been trying to raise money and haven't received a dollar more to go towards our goal page online at forthepeopleshow.com. And it's remained stagnant no matter what the appeal is. People just simply don't have the money. Our goal was $5,000. We what was it? $488 that we had raised out of $5,000 we needed, so we could go into a trade magazine. And I've invested tens of thousands of my own dollars towards the broadcast and through internet and advertising and time and money in 4.5 years to even get Chuck back on the air and try to do something with it. And folks, it's had a great run. The broadcast originated once upon a time in a garage in Tampa, Florida, back in the 80s. Was founded on WFLA. We had Ted Webb talking about Chuck's show on WFLA, and went satellite, reached millions of people, was second to Rush Limbaugh. And Chuck suffered some political attacks with Hillary Clinton. You just heard on today's broadcast. Silenced Chuck Harder, and just Google it and you can read the whole ad with the UAW, but they took him out. The support financially is just not there. The stations that have carried us, I got to tell you, and they're running this show right now, and I appreciate that. And I'd like to just call out our newest affiliate in Rome, Utica, New York, WKAL, my initials. 1450 AM, our newest affiliate in New York. Thank you very much for carrying the broadcast, as well as KLID in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and St. Helens, Oregon, KOHI, AM 1600 in Ocala. Jim, God bless you, WEFA 92.5. He's been there from the very beginning, back in 2015. KCXL 102.9 FM at 1140 AM in Kansas City, Missouri, from the very beginning, too. In Memphis, WMQM AM 1600, a big 50,000 watt station that reaches 5 states. Amazing station and great organization. And then in Bullhead, Arizona, KRHS from the very beginning in 2015 as well. So we've had a number of affiliates. Liberty News Network with Sam Bushman put us up on the bird since 2015 and was there with us from the very beginning and believed in us. And I know there are many people that are listening right now that believe in us still and still give $1 or $10 or $20 and have donated or have given something. And I appreciate you very, very much. I just want to let you know, thank you for tuning in to each and every broadcast. It's a sad day. It's sad to close this chapter, but rest assured, I will be back on radio somewhere, sometime, and I will make that announcement on Facebook. So make sure you keep Facebook handy with For the People. We'll keep that up. Now, we have thought about keeping a website up, either under For the People Show possibly, or chuckharder.com, where there'll be archived shows for years and years and years of shows. But for that to happen and materialize, that would be a nice donation. So if you are one of those people that would like to see that happen, contact me now at forthepeopleshow.com. You're welcome to call me at the phone number 423-8255, area code 813, and we can discuss partnering together to make that work financially. We'll see if there's enough people out there that would like to see an archive website, almost a memorial for the broadcast, for all it's done and the impact it's had on America. I've enjoyed, sincerely, talking with you, educating you, crying with you, laughing with you, reporting the news, instilling some common sense in a world that really, really needs it. And as we exit with the closing music of For the People, we want to say we miss Chuck Harder greatly. I know he is smiling down right now. I'm sure he wishes that the program would continue on, but I'll tell you, his impact will. And I believe that Donald Trump was really everything that Chuck stood for and hoped for. He's not a perfect guy, but he's getting a lot done. And the country needs somebody that was working for the people and protecting us, looking out for the little guy, Mr. and Mrs. America. That's something that Chuck did so well for so long. And we've been trying to keep that legacy alive. Thank you so much for everything. Stay in touch with us. Remember our website now at forthepeopleshow.com. Enjoy your holidays. Keith Allen, For the People, saying all the best. May God bless.